Okay, our beat's got some chords to it. Tell me what you think about this. There's definitely room to put like a topper on there of some sort, but I've really been enjoying Serum. It's a cool sound here. Yesterday, I made, after I got done with my video, I went and did some other stuff, and then I kind of came back and worked on some stuff, and I made this sound. And originally, it was just this and the kick, or the pattern. I'm gonna be honest, the longer you listen to it, the better it starts to sound. I know that because when I got done yesterday, I was like, man, I wrote a banger here. This is so good. And then I sat down today and kind of had forgotten what it sounded like. I was actually really excited. I was like, oh, I can't remember what the piece I was writing yesterday sounds like. I'm excited to hit play here and see what it sounds like. And I went, ugh. What is that sound? That's not a good sound. And so I started over. I wanted to keep that. I like the musical idea. I think is really good. It was just the synth that was playing it. This is not super good. So I started over and I made this, which is arguably much cleaner and better and more normal. It's like it's a very typical sound. This arrangement of a square wave down 2 octaves and a saw wave up a fifth is kind of like this envelope shape, and what it's doing there. That I got all of that from a video on like 10 DMB sounds you have to make, or that everybody needs to know. This was like their lead bass, I think. And it reminded me of some basses I'd heard in other songs that I kind of liked. So I was like, oh, let's just see this. It seems like easy to make and to follow. And we tweaked it a little bit ourselves, put some stuff on it that they didn't talk about, but that sounded kind of cool. And then we built this one from scratch, just completely on our own. This little bell sound. There's some interesting things here, like with this cutoff is being automated by this kind of tremolo type shape. Then we have the mixed pulled back a bit, so it's not completely cutting everything out. But then we put the compressor after all of this. This filter is after the reverb, so the reverb sound itself is getting filtered, and then everything is getting compressed, which kind of mitigates a little bit of the filtering effect. Because the filter is trying to, like, is dramatically changing things in volume, the compressor is making up for that, you know, because this is a multi-band compressor with upward compression. And then also because of that kind of like the clicks stuff that'll happen because of this filter and because of the reverb, those all get really magnified by the compressor. You hear that, like there's a lot of like high noise in there on a sound that doesn't actually have any noise in it. This is just this basic sine wave with some extra partials I added in, and then a completely pure saw wave up an octave. That gives you that wonderful sound there. Reminded me of Tycho, so I named this Tycho Trance Bells. And then, I think when I played it earlier, I probably had this muted. I've been debating whether to add this in or not. This is the kind of Midas trance pad we made previously. With a few extra things going on here, somebody in the comments, one of y'all in the comments pointed out that this volume shaper is also a multi-band feature. So I was able to kind of like set this band here and then have the kick get taken out. Only have it like duck out of the way of the kick in the bass area, and then have it only duck out of the snare in the top area, which I think I probably am using this wrong. I think probably for the kick, it should duck out everywhere. Like I should do this in this spot and have for the kick it completely cut out everything. But for the snare, it doesn't need to cut out the bass frequencies where the snare is not occupying. So this is actually a really cool feature. So like just that we don't cut out the snare out of the lower frequencies, and all you do is you just move this, boom, and then you just grab this, boom, and then you draw in there, right? And I didn't make one for the highs, so really cool feature there. Love that. Put a bit of dimension expander. I think the dimension expander we already had on the Midas Trance pad when we made it the previous episode, but then I added an OTT, and also I guess I didn't EQ anything. I was looking at it whether I needed to, but this is pretty tight here. There's not a lot of rogue frequencies, so. But yeah, you hear even when you pause it, the clicks that happen, that all the different multiband compression that's going on here really magnifies those little reverb tails there. But yeah, this sound, it changes things. Yeah, it's a cool sound. It's a cool sound. I like it. I hope that when I sit down and listen to it again tomorrow, I still like it, because it was a little bit jarring to sit down to this sound and be like, oh, I don't like this anymore. I thought this was really cool. I also had on it, like, with the reverb like filling in the gaps. I don't know. I thought yesterday I really liked that, and then today I was like, what am I doing? It's so muddy, it's so weird. There still is like one bass sound that I feel like is eluding me. It's the one that I've been trying to make since like the beginning of this drum and bass stuff. The thing you hear a lot in like Muzz's music as well as Metric's music. This like jun 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 jun, kind of like palm muted guitar sound. I think in Metric's music it's actually a palm muted guitar, but other artists have a similar sound that this is an attempt at it, but there's a lot less tonality to it. It's more of a power chord sort of sound. But every synth I make is either too chaotic or too uniform. There's the sweet spot I have yet to kind of figure out. So that's all we did today, though, was continue to make some sounds, and we'll see if we can make those other ones another time. I'll keep working on it. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.